to the first episode of Limits Eliminated in 2022. I'm Terry Armstrong, co-founder of TCM, the host. First of all, before let's take care of business, first some business. If it's your first time joining us, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We really appreciate that. Um, we have a very, 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 very good friend of mine, a very, very great person. I love her to death. I've known her for some years now in different lives, different things, and I feel I'm honored to have her here today. And by the way, you're the actually first female guest we've had on our show, so I'm
Oh,
really happy about this. Um, so first of many. So this just won't be an anomaly, but today our guest is Yolanda Moses, Yodi to us who really know her. She's the owner of. Please, I'm gonna let you say it. But I can't remember the name of your salon. I'm gonna just say
Yodi
Yodi.
International. The
Yodi
owner of Yodi
International.
International.
Yep. But she's been in the beauty industry for I think over at least 30 years now.
Yeah, we're pushing. Woo,
Okay, I don't
pushing.
want to put you out there like that, but
1995, July 5th, 1995. That was the first day in the salon setting.
okay, so getting close, not quite 30, but getting
Really
close.
close, almost to it.
Yeah, but she's a very good friend of mine. She's gonna share with us today. But hey, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, Terry, thank you for having me here on Limits Eliminated. It's such a pleasure, and gosh, it's such a huge honor to be the first female, and that's big. And it's look, make me sit a little taller here. That's good. That's a good feeling. So thank
Yeah,
you. I appreciate that.
no
Yeah,
worries, no worries. That was one of our 2022 resolutions is that we're gonna change this up and expand this and really get a really more holistic view of some of these things that we deal with as entrepreneurs.
yes.
But I'm not going to steal your thunder. I want to jump really into it. So let's take a few minutes. I'll let you tell everyone, a little bit about yourself. What shaped you into the person you are today, and just give us a little bit of background.
Oh wow. See, wow. That's a long story. That's a little
We got
bourbon
time.
conversation.
We got time.
Okay,
We got
so
time.
how do we do this? So I came in the industry from a background in working in radio sales and advertisement. And
Mhm.
of course, I lived in Raleigh, North Carolina, at a major Pinnacle broadcasting company that hosts like television, radio, news ads, all of that. So my
Mhm.
passion was, of course, I love communications, but it wasn't quite my passion that kind of led me in my career. It's interesting. Of course, growing up, I grew up with my background, three brothers. I'm the only girl. My hair very long, so of course, I frequent the salon quite a bit
Okay.
with all my hair. My mom didn't want to continue with that, but so of course, as an adult, I was already formed. Hair care and
Mhm.
beauty is important. It's an important part of your career. So
Okay.
I'll try to make this story real quick. What led me to this industry because it's passionate. Because more and more people have been asking about how I got started. I think it's going to be a spiral, something huge, Terry.
Okay.
Um, because it all revolves around passion.
Mhm.
So I was in a salon, a regular hair day, get my hair done. My salon, my stylist came and they kept coming lifting up the dryer. I'm like, well, was something going on with my hair? What's real? I'm like, something I was pulling, did something fall? Anyway, long story
Mhm.
short, the owner of the salon came over and said, hey, we want to talk to you about something. I said, okay. So when you were drying, come to my office. I was like, oh, something happened to my hair. So I kind of, so I was like, whoa,
That's the
what,
worst
what?
thing to hear in a salon, ain't it?
Yes, I got anxious. I was nervous, and then so her name was it was a in-flight hair salons, and it was a teaching-based salon. So I knew they did a lot of education. They
Mhm.
traveled to all the trade shows, and but I didn't understand what it had to do with me. But anyway, I dried, so I kept watching the dial. So when it dried, I flew out of the dryer, went straight to her office, and I said, "Okay." She's like, "Have a seat," and I'm like looking like, "No, I'll stand." She's like, "Listen, she said, no need to be, no need to be alarmed because we want to talk to you about your hair." I said, okay, did something happen with it? She's like, oh no, your hair is fine. You have the best stylist in the salon, so you're great with that. I said, okay. So I'm like, so I got a little relaxed. And
Mhm.
then she started telling me that they did trade shows and things like that. And one of the models, apparently, our hair texture and length was the very same. And she discovered that she was beginning a family, so she was pregnant, so she couldn't continue. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Excuse. That's okay.
When in the show, he always make his debut. Always
Yeah.
make his debut. So anyway, long story short, asked if I would be a model, hair
Mhm.
model, and I was like, oh, of course. And I didn't have anything on my schedule in radio, so that one show turned into 4 or 5 shows later. And I found myself on trade floor show on the trade floor shows out of the model room and on the floor. And this passion was like I had
Mm.
butterflies and excitement for when it was time to travel with the team.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the show, I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Just come. I asked her, say, can I talk to you? Had a conversation with Carolyn Marshall, and she's like, yeah. She invited us over to dinner and had a conversation, and from
Uh-huh.
there, it spiraled into me looking into a hair school to attend because I definitely felt like that was the point I found my passion.
Okay. Oh
Yeah,
wow. Wow. So that
yeah,
I like you brought up this topic of passion. I think that's so important these days. You know, we're in a very a new normal. And I
yes,
don't know if people who've seen not only the beauty industry, but other industries like I
yes.
have, people are choosing their passion more than they've ever done before. And I
Mhm,
think it's for two reasons.
mhm,
One, they're realizing what it is.
mhm.
They didn't know. They're
Yeah,
realizing that this isn't my passion, but this is. And
right.
two, I think if you're going to spend your time doing anything, you have more. It's more likely you'll be successful when you're passionate about it. And I think
Absolutely.
people lose that. I think we always chase the bag first,
Yes.
and then we think we'll like it. And I think it's the reverse. I think what you realize is in the long run, the journey, if I'm passionate about something, the success comes in
Mhm.
different ways.
Yes.
I have greater success when I'm passionate about something specifically
Yes.
because I'll wake up and do that no matter what. You know what I mean? And,
Right.
I appreciate you saying that because I can
Mhm.
hear the passion in your voice when you talk
Yeah.
about your beginning and everything. So that's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm gonna jump into it.
Hmm.
It is called Lemons and Lemonade. So we've all had a really lengthy entrepreneurial journey. I know you've been an entrepreneur for what 20 plus years now.
Yeah, 20 plus years now. Definitely 20
Yeah.
plus years.
So I know you've seen a lot.
Oh, have I?
so
So much.
please share share with us just some of what you've seen, what you think it takes to be successful as an entrepreneur, and just some of the those life lessons that we picked up along the way. you know
Absolutely. So, of course, the first thing is once you discover that you're passionate of something, so it definitely requires the digging. You have to dig in to find out, okay, I'll speak for mine. I had to
hmm
dig into it. I knew nothing about cosmetology. I knew nothing about the beauty industry. All I knew is that my brother's clippers and that's it. And I think that's where my passion for clippers came in because they would never let me cut their hair. But so I think that's where that came in later into my career. But I started digging. You had to dig. Once you find out what it is, you have to set yourself up for a platform so that you can be successful. You
hmm
had to do work, meaning you had to do research. If you require some skill training, you had to put yourself in alignment so you can go to a school setting, get the
hmm
training. And then, of course, from there, once I got the training, I had to select where was I going to start my beginning in the industry. And that's
Okay.
important too, because I feel like your beginning and working into your passion, it makes a big difference on your end result. So I was very fortunate to land in people's hands that actually led and guided me. So having someone that you can depend on, someone that you can talk to, a good mentor, or someone that just by fluke, if by conversation and talking to people, you never know, a stranger can say, "Hey, I overheard your conversation," which is my story would happen over
hmm
one of the stylists in the salon I first interviewed at. It wasn't the right fit for me because it was a booth rental and I need to be on a commission base. I didn't know that, but
hmm
there was a stylist there that led me to the salon where I actually spent my whole 13 years in the salon to learn the trade.
Okay.
So conversation with people, being open-minded. Um, Zeus, I know,
Hey
please.
Zeus. Hey. What? Let's talk to Zeus for a little bit.
I know it's like he has something to say.
You got
He
something
has
to
something
say?
to say. Yes, come. So I'm so sorry.
No,
I had
no. Zeus part of the family. What you talking about?
yes, listen, jumping in on live on Amazon. I tell you, he making his rounds.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Oh,
that
and
part
I
of
don't
it.
think I mentioned to people. Yodi is actually our one of our global TCM educators.
Yeah.
So she gets to share her knowledge with a lot of our different audiences. So I didn't get to say that, but that's really important.
Yeah, ooh, that's so much.
And
Because
just
we saw it's so much to say, right? Which
yeah,
is
yeah.
good.
It is. It is. It is. It is. But you were hitting on some very good points there. The opportunities that tend to present themselves to us, we don't
Mhm.
usually know. We don't know where it's going to come from, And
Right.
I mean, I think like for you, I knew you from the design essential days.
Yes. Mhm.
I didn't know you had such a thriving business on this side of the house. And so it's just conversations and these random connections where
Yeah.
opportunities present themselves.
Mhm.
But I do want to ask you about something because I know a little bit about your personal life.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, but see, I know you've had some really major events
Mhm.
happen in your life these last couple of years, and
Yes.
it made you refocus on
Mhm.
some things, and just what's important and what's not important to
Mhm.
you.
Right.
If I mean, I'm just gonna dig into your business now.
I
If
go let's do it because I believe sharing is caring.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, but just tell us a little bit about how I don't we don't need the details, all the glory, the details, but just a little bit how you process that and how you came out on the other side and how do you view things now?
Wow. So, we are like in a very, these times are very challenging, very
Hmm.
challenging. I feel like for one, it was a shocker initially. And, I speak from a life point of when I launched the salon. I had a
Okay.
major surgery. I had a major surgery, which set me back for like 6 to 10 weeks.
Yep.
And, that was one thing. And I was like,
Hmm.
whoa. So it taught me to be still. In the midst of being still, I actually came across a blueprint that I'd written out, drew out the
Mm.
blueprint, a business plan that I've written out, all in a
Mm.
composition folder. And so while recouping, I flipped that book open, and it was a stimulation of me launching Yodi International. I was like,
Okay.
wow. So timing is something that gave me with that being still, that time, it
Hmm.
gave me the opportunity to discover something that was already in my pathway for me to discover, that journal. And that journal, it opened the door like, oh, it's time. So it was the
Wow.
time to launch Yodi International in the midst of recuperating to be healthy. So that was a stimulation. That was a tool that we have to journal things that if we're passionate about, we need to write these things down.
Hmm.
Consult with people who are already doing these things. I try not to reinvent the wheel because why? When you have so many, why reinvent it?
Why
Consult
really
those
made
who
it?
are already doing it. They're seemingly their success is awesome. So
Mhm.
connecting with people like that and sitting at round tables, and I'm a big person for watching trend visions and things like that. So that kind of keep me on the cutting edge in the industry to know where and when to do certain things and when to launch certain things. Because when I launched the salon, it was in 2008, and
Mm.
and if we can all remember 2008, that was kind of like one of the biggest recessions since, geez, as I
Mm.
recall, World War II. So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
a recession time period. I was advised financially not to do it.
Really?
Yeah, I was told now is not the time to launch a new business. I was like, okay. But inside, my instinct was like, the time is now. And the
Yeah.
time was even more perfect because I followed my instinct. Follow my instinct, utilize my funding that I had put aside. And that's
Hmm.
something we'll talk about there too. Like my funding, if I were to rewind back to 2008, I would left my capital in the bank and use the bank capital. But my
Yeah.
mindset was, I don't want debt. I don't want debt. But sometimes you have to have a reasonable amount of debt for your
Mhm.
success because that capital would be still looking real pretty right about now. But
Yeah.
I use that income to like launch a salon. Not a bad move, but next time it would be smarter to do so. If I were to tell anyone, don't use your money.
Yeah.
Use the bank
I,
money.
the one thing I agree with you 100%. I do like this concept though. You were willing to bet on yourself, and
Yes.
and that's one of the messages I've been telling people here lately. I was like, in my career, and I've done quite a few different things.
Yeah.
I've learned that if I really want success, if I'm not willing to bet on myself,
Mhm.
nobody else will be.
Exactly.
And I shouldn't ask them to, truthfully.
Exactly.
And
That's true.
that's why, yeah.
True.
And so
That is true.
I like the fact that you had enough, and I think a lot of times people, when starting business, there's a lot of fear in the front end,
Yeah. Oh
but you
yeah.
got to face it and then push through it. So I hear that through coming through as well. So I think those are really,
Yeah.
really, really important lessons that you're sharing there.
Thank
So
you.
not a lot of times we hear that, in my opinion,
Yeah.
that,
That's
that
true.
they're,
People don't feel that side.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, you've been in the industry, and so I see you as a seasoned vet in your industry, and so you see the landscape that you're
Hmm.
currently in. and they're still, I know we think that things are down. Some people think things are down in the beauty industry because it's changed so dramatically. But I still
Correct.
think there are new people coming into the industry, and what kind of mindset should they have when they look at what's out there, and say, okay, how do I be successful in this?
Mhm. Mhm. I feel like that definitely once you, I think because being adaptive, meaning being having the ability to change. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you are fixed, then you're not going to change, and if you don't change, then things will supersede and go past you. So you have to have your mindset where you're open for change.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have to have that mindset correct connect in my world, being able to be creative to adapt to certain things. And Zeus is trying to make his debut again. I'm pushing the
Zeus is trying to let
platform.
you know I'm supposed to be on camera. You didn't give me my camera time. That's what Zeus is telling you.
Exactly. I'm still on the camera time and the alignment that we have to change. We have to change and be ready to adapt
Yeah.
and work around things when they become obstacles. And when there's an obstacle, we have to be willing. We have to have a mindset to be willing to say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you know what? Don't quit. Don't throw in because you can work around that and look at it as an opportunity to make something better. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like the current landscape that we're in,
Yeah.
it forced me personally, I'm sure as with many others, to like do stuff a little bit differently because we were
Mm-hmm.
forced into different platforms.
Yeah.
So having that mindset to be remain your creativity, allow your creativity to still be present, but open
Mm-hmm.
and willing to change and having that adaptability in your life to so that you can kind of like go with the flow of things. And it can be fearful, but that's the thing. If you have fear, you never know. I think that when you are fearful about something, then to me, that's when the biggest change really take place, especially when you take that leap into it, because that's when you truly ultimately feel like the fulfillment of what you visualize for yourself.
Yeah. 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 I agree 100%. 100%. Um, I don't want to get away from this before I have chance to ask this.
Okay.
Please give them an idea of what Yoda International is all about. Because I mean, you've launched it. I like the
Mhm.
fact that you dug up, you went in the crates, you pulled out. Oh, you know what? Let me. This is what because I'm an advocate of that. FYI, and I'll
Yeah.
just give you a 1 minute. I was in my hometown. I've been driving
Mhm.
past this building for the last
Mhm.
8 years, and I
Wow.
said, "This is downtown." I said, "This is a great opportunity. We need to do something with this building."
Mhm.
I was having dinner with some real estate developers, and they said, "You know what? This is actually a good time to do some real estate deals, some development
Mm.
deals in actually the exact format of what I was looking at." And it was like, "Oh, okay, wow."
Okay.
So I mean, those planting those seeds, you might write it down 5 years ago. It's
Right.
actually a
Right.
good idea, and the timing for it to happen will come to you. So, just take a few minutes, tell us about Yodi International, what that's all about, what that brand is all about.
Okay, so of course, Yodi International is the hair industry. It's we service clientele from, it doesn't matter your background. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why it's Yodi International is because in going into, once I found and locked down a school I wanted to attend, I didn't want to be placed in a box. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you can go to hair school, you learn certain textures. I knew going in, I wanted to learn everything about hair. So I was ready to embrace all textures of hair. Back in 1994, I knew I wanted to learn everything about hair. It didn't
Mm-hmm.
matter like your cultural background. It doesn't your hair straight away. I didn't care. I want to learn it because
Okay.
I knew then if I learned textures then while in school, I knew that the
Mm-hmm.
industry was going to change and that people, it changed period, like fashion and
Yeah.
beauty, it changes. So hair was going to change. But I wanted to be able to be on that cutting edge and innovatively in a place where I definitely was able to say, hey, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can embrace this texture because I learned it and I made it my business to like dig deeper even after school to learn about different textures because that's the thing. I don't want to be in a box.
Yeah.
I feel you put yourself in a box and you have limitations. I feel like this business is limitless. And that's why Yodi International Multicultural Hair Salon is attached to our name because we service people of all walks. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we believe in servicing clientele from all walks of life, families into its entirety, the husband, the children.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to make it a household name where we actually, when you think of hair, you think of us. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
can go here. The
Yeah.
husband, the wife, the children. So that's one thing. And also for the staff here, I wanted to be where those that work here at Yodi International, and actually it's been truly an honor because I've seen a couple of the stylists that did work here where they've gone on to launch their businesses in this industry. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to share something that I have like acquired along the way in my
Mhm.
career, and I can share like business ideas and encourage them to like do their thing. And it's awesome. It's a good feeling when I walk down a block or two and I see a stylist. He worked. He was a barber. His place, his business is up and running. He's thriving. So
Mhm.
Yodi International is about uh, not only just an opportunity for one to come and get their hair done, but for the staff, it's a place to support your families, expand yourself, go
Mhm.
further in your career. And I have like a mentorship program that I'm spearing up for 2022, along with
Okay.
some other platforms that, of course, that kind of came into my uh, to-do list for 2022. So there's some things, you know, so it's Yoga International is that. And we've been, like I said, brand,
Mm.
professional brands, like of course TCM is one
Mhm.
of our key brands here at the salon. And I'm telling you, it's just such a it's an amazing feeling to know that we can service anyone that walks through the door. And we're
Okay.
right down in the heart of Winston-Salem. So it's like anyone can walk in here and we can care for them.
Okay. Cool. 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 The one of the things I did want to ask is we're still in the midst of a global pandemic. Um,
Mhm.
you're in the beauty industry. I know you had to deal with that initial shutdown and everything else.
Yes.
Um, when you look at it, even that, you know, how do what did you do or what do you recommend to people who want to be successful in those less than ideal,
Mhm.
settings
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
we've all been dealt here recently?
Mhm.
What do you see as a pathway forward for people in beauty professionals, and how do they you talked about change earlier.
Mhm.
How do you see what advice can you offer them?
I would advise this will be one of my key is to never feel because we're in a pandemic, it doesn't mean that you're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That look at it as an opportunity. Whenever there's a challenge, whenever I foresee myself in a place of having a challenge, I look
Uh-huh.
at it as an opportunity to be still and examining what's happening around me and dig
Mm-hmm.
and pull certain things that where I can utilize those things to help me launch things or do things differently. In our case, we were forced to, because we were in the pandemic, we were forced to do a lot of things on a digital platform, even
Mm-hmm.
staying in connection with our customers. Uh, they're calling us and we're doing video chats about how to take care of their hair at home and
Mm-hmm.
recommending products and becoming brand affiliates like with TCM and Design Essentials and other some appliances that I connect with. So
Mm-hmm.
it's you never look at yourself as being in a box. Look at
Gotcha.
it as an opportunity. Look,
Mm-hmm.
take it. I know it's major. It's unknown and it can be scary. But when you move in a way where you kind of
Hey,
keep keeping yourself and for me I like to watch like what's happening in our industry. I like to
mm-hmm.
watch what's happening in other industries, like in a doctor office they were doing a lot of virtual visits. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, that's pretty cool. What about we
Mm-hmm.
do some virtual consultations? And then literally that kind of sprouted into current something that's happening still right now, like
Mm-hmm.
people that they're referred to as different from different places. We do virtual consults. They shoot a credit card, boom, there's your virtual consult.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Wow.
that's a great our opportunity that we should definitely like think about because we weren't able to be in the salon to do the hands-on consult, but because of the platforms that we're now working on, you're able to go in and tap on your phone, do a Zoom, do a FaceTime or a Facebook Live, and you can actually
Mm-hmm.
meet new people and do consults like that, and even right down to recommending the products and leading those people directly to your if you're an affiliate with these different brands,
Mm-hmm.
lead them to those links and they
Yep.
get exactly what you recommend, those bundles of products, and everyone is staying afloat. And I think that's what it's all about. It's about a cycle. For
Mm-hmm.
example, PCM and Design Essentials, some hair appliance companies, like this is what I use. This is how I
Mm-hmm.
use it. And being able to lead those people to those sites and things. And so I get a kickback. The companies that I believe in and that have supported me along the way and keep my business afloat with premium products, they get the kickback and we maintain a great clientele. So now those people that we have met via those virtual platforms, they're solid clients with us, and they're constantly referring people. Um, so it's like you look around, like look at all these different new businesses, like the delivery services,
Mm-hmm.
healthy. It's so many different things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
never look at it you're being forced to shut something down, but look at it as it's an opportunity to launch something new and refreshing.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I think that create, creatives, you have to be creative when you see a situation.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I always like, this is in your ballpark. This is people in your space, and like, y'all look at stuff differently. I will say that.
I
It's
like,
so I
what?
mean, I appreciate that advice, because I think that's the hardest thing for people like me, because
Mhm.
I'm used to A B C D. Y'all
Right.
don't no, y'all have a unique gift to be able to look at a situation and say, there's a different way. There's something different. I can do this differently. And I think that's, I think that's really what I'm hearing here, is that, you can look at a situation and, it's half
Mhm.
glass, half full or half empty. How you going to look at this?
Right.
So, okay, cool. I know we're getting close to the time, but I wanted to,
Mhm.
is there anything else you want to share with the audience, before we get out of here?
Yeah, so I'll say that first. Again, I'm honored to be here, and I look forward for for, to coming back, because I have so many things up my. We can sit here and talk for hours. I have some more things I want to share on Lemons and Lemonade.
Okay.
Because when you invited me, it stimulated me to go back to that journal again. So I look forward to future appearances here, because there's so many things I want to share, because I feel like, again, that we are here for one another, and that's what I've learned, and that's what I definitely appreciate with the rapport that we have with one another, that we're here for one another, we support one another, and it's about a cycle. And as
Yep.
things change, we have platforms and people that we can go to help lead us through that change. So I say to those who are aspiring new businesses, or revamping new business, never get up and remain determined, because when you are determined behind something that you're passionate for, just only know that it can only be successful. And if you foresee that you have a challenge, don't look at the challenge as something that's detrimental or the end. Look at it as an opportunity. Okay, Zeus, he affirming what I said.
Yeah, he is. He's just giving you a amen. He's like, yes. That's how you get.
So it's an opportunity, and always definitely keep yourself like in connection with people, and if you possibly can, networking, talking to people, opening doors, and
Mhm.
allowing those relationships to grow, because you
Okay.
never know how that can eventually, uh,
Please
uh,
give Zeus some camera time. Give Zeus some camera time. We need to see Zeus.
let's see, let's lower this here. Say hello.
Hey,
Say hi
Zeus.
to
How
everyone.
you doing, Zeus? We see
See,
you there. We hear you. We ain't ignoring
see,
you.
listen, and he knows. Terry, honestly, I really do believe this dog is more than a dog. He's a human dog. He's a human dog. He's a human dog. So yeah, he
Okay.
got his camera time. He's a bossy one. So
Okay.
anything close with respect, I don't take it as anything bad. I take it he's bossy. He knows best. He's trying to lead me to do something, and tell me that I have a guest here. So let me know, hey, someone's here waiting for you, but it's okay. I just kind of take things with, never look at it at negativity, ward it
Mhm.
off. If you feel yourself being uncomfortable, embrace that as being something great, because it's allowing you to push past something. So
Yes.
just keep pushing forward, because
Okay.
truly, I believe that if you never give up, if you never give up on your vision, your passion, then you will definitely see it come to fruition. And you may stumble a little bit across some challenges. It's okay. Pause for a minute, regroup, think about what happened, take all those things as lessons, and allow it to be a platform to create something new, or a different way or avenue for fulfilling whatever it is that you're desiring to do.
Cool. That's great. That's great advice. All right. Take a few minutes. Tell everybody how they can connect with you, or even come to get their services. They happen to be in your
Absolutely. So on digital platforms, you can connect us on Instagram, Yodi International. That's on Instagram, Facebook, same thing, Yodi International. You can reach us at our website, Yodi International, so www.yodiinternationalsalon.com. And we're located here right downtown in the Arts District of Winston-Salem at 513 North Liberty Street. And telephone number is 336-529-6243. And you can also reach us on email, yogainternational@gmail.com. Even those things, making sure you have all those forms and platforms so people can connect with you, and Google us, Yodi
yes.
International. So
Cool.
definitely.
One last thing is, or two last things. First of all, Yodi's going to be hosting with TCM's other co-founder, starting this month, hopefully next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that's coming up a week. If not next week, the week after, it's coming
We
up
got
very
the
soon.
TCM
Yeah.
Live, the new podcast for us. So Yodi and Rance will be hosting it. So please check them out when we launch that. We'll put that out there for everyone. And also, once again, Yodi, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Like I said, there'll be many more opportunities for us to chat because I know you got so much more to offer to everyone else.
I look forward to it. And Terry, thank you. It's always an honor. Whenever you call and ask of me, I'm always going to say yes because I know that it's always going to be something inspiring, and it's always going to be something for me. It pushes me to kind of push past, and it's always on time. So I'll say that to you. It's always a timely, whether you know it or not, it's always a timely ask when you do present it because there's always something in my head that's pushing me to do it. So thank you for that. Thank you for allowing me to be here on Lemons to Lemonade. And I truly hope that the guests definitely stay tuned for the next and upcoming future episodes. It's going to be amazing. 2022 has so much to offer.
Okay, thank you. It does. I agree with you. Once again, everyone, like us and subscribe to us on YouTube. TCM Live, Lemons and Lemonade on TCM, and then TCM Live coming in a week or two. All right, thank you so much, Yoda. And until the next time, I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Terry.